ladies. Hello, gents. Palm Springs Cindy here, coming to you from my kitchen area. And oh gosh, I have so much to share with you guys. Okay, one of the things that I am sad, very sad about, and it is hard for me being a single woman now, is just certain incidences in my life that I don't have anybody to lean on and to help me with. And when I feel like a big weenie, I think about my 93-year-old mother who has been living on her own for several years, maintaining her adorable condo, her car, her finances, and doing just fine. And I think about my daughter who is single and lives on her own, owns her own home and takes care of it, and, handles her situations just fine. And so this is new to me. I mean, I didn't get married until I was 27. So I know what it's like to have my own apartment and take care of my car and stuff like that. But this is different because now I'm grown up, and I have like a mortgage, and things go wrong, and I don't have anybody to share it, to lean on, and to I don't want to use the words take care of me. It's not that I need to be taken care of, but I don't have anyone to share the burdens with, the highs or the lows or the mediums. So like, for example, the other day, my credit card, I got a call from the fraud department from my credit union that my credit card, they said, did you just charge something in Florida? And I said, no, I'm here in India. So, okay, they blocked my credit card again. This happens about twice a year. So once again, I'm going to have to go through all my bills, all the, wherever I've given my credit card number, and they like PayPal and stuff like that. So I have to go through all that again, which is a pain in the neck. And then I wasn't able to get to the credit union right away to get a new card. So it was kind of weird not having a credit card. And as a result, I had a problem with that, and I'm going to share it with you. So, okay, like that's one thing. And then I have things written down here. My windows need washing. Well, I mean, I can find a window washer, but frankly, I think they're charging me too much. I did have a window washer at my other house. He was a friend of my husband's. He always did a great job. I felt safe with him around the house. We could even leave him there, and he would do the job, and certainly did not overcharge us. So, but now I have someone coming tomorrow, and I don't know what to expect, kind of a thing. Okay, that's another thing. That's kind of creepy. Once I find like certain helpers that I feel comfortable with, that won't be such a problem anymore. Okay, then this crazy thing happened to me. I've been having trouble with Auto Club. I've always belonged to Automobile Club of America. And a lot of it has stemmed from our divorce, but right now the problem is when I make my monthly mortgage payment, my homeowner insurance, which is through Auto Club, is paid for through my mortgage payment. Well, my mortgage has been has been sold 4 times this year. Every time it is sold, there's always a hiccup with my taxes and my homeowner business. So I got a letter, and see, I don't get that. I just think that's the way escrow was set up. I make my monthly payment every month. Escrow should be taking care of that. It's all written down in a contract. Okay, well, no, no. So I get this letter from Auto Club. Well, first of all, I got a letter the beginning of last month that now my mortgage now start mailing my payment to this new company. And then I get a letter about 4 or 5 days ago that said from Auto Club that said due to non-payment they're going to cancel my homeowner insurance. So I thought, son of a gun. So I called the new people. Actually, it's been sold 5 times. So I called the new people and I explained that that I've got this letter from Auto Club. Why aren't you paying my homeowner insurance? I'm not going to have homeowner insurance anymore. So they said, okay, let us figure this out. So my mortgage company called Auto Club. Then they got me. So we had a 3-way conversation. So bottom line, they said, which I think is so not right, but there's more to the story that I will share. So so they said, okay, tomorrow your homeowner insurance will run out. Actually, tomorrow. This was a few days ago. So they said, this is what you can do. You can give us $78. He said, that's enough to cover you for 1 month and to keep you from losing your policy. In the meantime, your mortgage company, and it was 3-way conversation. So she said, yes, we will, right now we're going to send the payment for your homeowner insurance, but it won't get there today. And so I was like, okay, so bottom line, I didn't have a credit card, so I had to give them a check, an e-check over the phone. Give them my bank codes, my checking account numbers, blah, 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 which I don't like doing. I've done it before. It seems to be fine. Okay, well, guess what? So then I was looking at my bank statement and they charged me, it was $78. So I gave them permission, gave them my bank stuff for $78. Well, they did it twice, $78. So I thought, I didn't give them permission to do it 2 times. So I went to my credit union today to discuss and get a new debit card. I talked to them about the $78, and they said, yeah, I see what you mean. So I said, well, can I have a copy of that so that because I'm going to go to Auto Club right now and get this straightened out. Well, their printers were down. So, okay, ixnay that. So I go to Auto Club, and I get in and sit down, and this nice man named Mike helped me, and I explained the situation. I showed him on my telephone how the $78 taken out of my account from Auto Club. So he looked, he goes, oh yeah, he pulled it up on his computer. He said, oh yeah, I see what happened. So he said, bottom line, we can give you, we can mail you one of the $78 and you'll get it within a week. Why couldn't they have just cut me a check? And he said, but the other $78, which I already knew, he said, we can't give that back to you until, my sciatic is really hurting me. We can't give that back to you until we get the money from your mortgage company, and that clears. Then we'll send you the other $78 that you had to come up with. Okay. So I get home. I get home and I sit down, I take my shoes off, and I check my email, and I have an email from this fellow named Mike from Auto Club. He said, please call me as soon as possible. Your Auto Club membership has expired, and we can't carry you we can't carry you on your insurance anymore. I was like, are you freaking kidding? I was just there. Why didn't you know it then? What do you mean my membership is up? I've paid my car insurance for a full year. Now I've already paid you $78 worth for my homeowner insurance. How can you not cover me? You've got my money. So anyway, I called him back. Well, he wasn't there. And so I called a friend of mine. Her name is Cindy, and she was like a manager for Auto Club. And she's retired now, but she has the knowledge, she has all the inside information. So I called her and I explained the situation just like I'm doing to you. And I said, what? I don't get it. How can they not cover me after they have my money? And why didn't they know this? And why am I just now finding out? I never got a letter or anything. So she taught, this is what she told me in a lesson learned. She said, every time your mortgage is sold, that is your responsibility to contact Auto Club and let them know. Now, you would think the mortgage company would take care of all that because frankly, I mean, I'm thinking to myself, do you know how much money? I paid $17,000 in escrow fees. Wouldn't some of that cover that would be their responsibility? Evidently not. So, so she said, that is your responsibility. Auto Club does not know that you have a new mortgage company, and those wires aren't crossing anymore. So anyway, I said, okay, good to know. And then she said, as far as then she said, I'm going to hang up, call the manager over there and find out what's going on. I'll call you right back. In the meantime, I got in touch with Mike, and he was good. He was very good. And he said, here's the deal. And he just said basically what Cindy told me. You have a membership fee. Once you're a member of Auto Club, then you can take advantage of getting insurance from us and whatever other services we offer. But if you don't have a membership with us, then you can't be a part of our team. You can't enjoy our services. I'm like, okay. And he said, here's what happened. You had a 90-day grace period. And evidently, I don't know what happened to the letter. Maybe I got it and I thought it was a redundant insurance policy. I don't know. I don't remember getting it. And so he said, you've been writing on your 90 days. And so when you got your car insurance and paid that for the year, that you were under your 90 days. But now that this home mortgage thing has come up, this error has popped up. Okay, so I gave him it's $53 to get a membership at Auto Club plus a $20-some penalty for being late. And so he said he would see if he could get that removed. Thank you very much. So anyway, he came back and he got it removed and we got that squared away. And so, because I was ready to go with California Teacher Association or NEA or something with their insurance. I just like Auto Club because I've always been with them and they've always, like when I needed a tow or whatever, they always came through. So I feel comfortable. Okay, so that being said, see, that's another example of where, I don't want to have to deal with that all on my own. I don't want to. I have to, and I will, and I have to put my big girl panties on, but sometimes I don't want to wear my big girl panties. So that is, those kinds of situations are when I get, when I realize that it was nice to be married because I didn't have to deal with those things all on my own. I'm just saying, I'm putting it out there. Can't lie to you. Okay, now, I want to talk about my golden nuggets. Not many people enjoyed my golden nuggets. Many of you enjoyed God and Dog. You were totally perplexed when it came to the jeweler. And the whole reason I put that on there was because, first of all, I have watched that at least 10 times. I find that fascinating. And I did put up in my comments that the reason that's a golden nugget is because I love watching the process. I think it is directed and edited superbly. I love how the artist, the jeweler, is so in tune to the art that he's making. And of course, the product is beautiful as well. But it's not so much about the ring as it is the process and the artist behind the process. Which, by the way, did you notice he's in a wheelchair? And I have Googled him, and he is crippled. But he's married and he has kids, and he has a brother, and there's another video. Well, anyway, there's a bunch of videos on him. But they're all in Spanish and everything, but that one video I just love. Okay, then the other video I had was that postmodern jazz group, and I love that song. You know, it's all about the bass. And I think those gals were just darling. And anyway, I just thought that was such a great little video. Now, nuggets for this time. I'm going to, first of all, one of the nuggets is you must watch Baghdad Cafe. It is so good. It is, and hang in there with it because, and I think it's family friendly, if I can remember. It's a bit different. Maybe it's not family friendly, but certainly the second half is family friendly. It is very, very good. And you've probably heard of Baghdad Cafe. It caught my eye and I watched it, and I just didn't want it to end. Alrighty, then another gem I'm going to hook you up with is a man named Rufus Wainwright. And I've watched him, and there's really only one song that I like of his, and it's the one that I'm going to suggest that you watch. He's a Broadway theatrical singer, evidently, and he lives a different lifestyle. He's handsome. I think he's young, but he might not be as young as I think. Anyway, I was watching the Billy Joel Kennedy Honors, Kennedy Center Honors, honoring Billy Joel. And the last person to sing one of Billy Joel's songs to honor him was Rufus Wainwright. Well, with that name alone, it caught my attention. And so he sang New York State of Mind. Oh my gosh, you guys, it is phenomenal. I just got goosebumps thinking about it. And I have listened to that over and over again. There's just something about him and that song that just blows my mind. So one of my golden nuggets is Rufus Wainwright. Now, when you watch it, you're gonna notice that one act is just leaving the stage, and then they announce, and here's Rufus Wainwright to sing New York State of Mind, and then he comes out, he sings his song, then at the very end of his song, another group comes out. So you've got to hang in there and just watch him. Okay. And there's another, what is this? Oh, okay. And then there's a not cute, it's very wonderful, flash mob that I've watched over and over again. It's just very good. And so I'm going to turn you on to the YouTube flash mob. It's I'm not going to tell you what it is because that's part of the fun of watching the flash mob, is realizing what's going on. And keep in mind, flash mobs always start with the music. Like if you're in a shopping center or you're in a park or whatever, it always starts like with some type of a boom box or musicians or whatever, that the music starts. And then everybody kind of starts looking around like, where's that music coming from? And then all of a sudden the actors or the people step forward. I just love to watch flash mobs. It's such a good feeling. So those are going to be my 3 golden nuggets. Okay, along with that, since I have been sick, I've been watching a lot of television. Well, you know I'm obsessed with World War II. And I have a couple World War II stories to share, but this is the one for this video. Okay, I've watched all about Auschwitz, the Holocaust, the camps, all that stuff, and the survivors' stories, their testimonies. I could just watch that 24/7. Well, anyway, I found there's another whole group of, oh gosh, what's the word? The Liberator testimonies about the soldiers. They're all men so far. The soldiers that found the camps right when the war was ending. The war actually wasn't even over yet, but the Nazi people in charge of the camps had fled, most of them. And so the stories, it's the I'm going to say the liberator stories, they're fantastic. And the people that give these stories are so well spoken. They remember every detail. And they don't just talk about liberating the camp. They talk about their days, their experience in the service. And they know every date, they know every day, they know every time of the day, they know everything, and they remember, and it's uncanny. It's fascinating. Well, it is for me anyway. So there was this one fellow that I watched, and his name is William Glenny, Glenny, and he was 18 when he went into the service. And this is not a liberator story. William Glenny was stationed, his first job was the Nuremberg trials. He was 18, and he went into the Nuremberg area. There's actually, they have put up a map of it. And it's his job, he's one of many, but his job was to guard the prisoners. And so the prisoners, they had day shifts. Well, they had different shifts because during the day, the prisoners were in the courtroom. And then after the court business, then they'd go back to their rooms, their cells or whatever. And he describes their cells. The lady that is interviewing him does a phenomenal job, her questioning tactics and everything. So this is just such a good story. So anyway, he's 18, and he understands the significance of this historical moment. So they walk up and down, they watch the prisoners, he talks all about Hermann Goering, he tells you all about these biggies. What they do in their cells, what they talk like, what their attitudes are, if they're friendly or not friendly, what they like to eat, what they didn't like to eat, what they did on the yard when they went out to exercise and stuff. And he just tells you everything. I mean, the interviewer even says, well, like, what did they talk like? Did they have loud, did they yell because like they were used to giving orders, or were they soft-spoken? Were they humble? Were they, full of themselves or whatever? So, and he just tells you everything. Well, so this one night, one of his duties was at night, they had to be stationed. They had two of these soldiers that guarded the inside of the Nuremberg courthouse, or the inside of the trial area. And evidently, to get into the courtroom, you had to take, excuse me, the prisoners. They had to be walked out down the hall. Then they took these side ramps, and they went into elevators. And then there were barely room for two people in the elevator. Then they'd go up the elevator. And then the elevator would open, and then they'd walk out and get in their chair. And then the next one, they were each assigned a guard, so they came in the courtroom one at a time. They each were assigned a seat. So okay, it's the middle of the night. William Glenny he and one other guy are inside the courtroom, Nuremberg trial. They're the only two guys in there, and he's 18 years old. So he said, I sat, this is him talking, he said he sat in everybody's chair to see what it was like. Every time it caught, she's just so worried about me. Oh, baby. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, she's just shaking. So he said he sat in, Albert Speer's chair, Goering's chair, Hess's chair, all of them. There were 22. Did I already say that? Then he said the judge sits 3 steps higher than anybody else. And so he stepped up on the stairs and sat in the, okay, I'm gonna put her down. Okay, sweet girl. So he said he got up and he sat in the judge's chair. And then he turned the chair around and he noticed that there was like this big conference table behind the judge's chair. And he said, like, where they must have conferenced. And he said, next, behind the conference table were all these cabinets. So I said, I wanted to know what was in the cabinets. So I said, I opened the cabinet doors and there were the judge's black robes. And he said, let's see if I can remember this. France, the judge from France wore his black robe. The British judge and the American judge wore their black robes, but the Russians did not wear the robes. They didn't want to. They wanted to appear in their army uniforms. So he said he put a black judge robe on, and he said, I just wanted. Well, he put the robe on and he sat back down in the judge's chair, and looked around and just got a feeling for what the whole courtroom was like. So then the interviewer said, well, why did you put the judge's robe on? And he said, I wanted to know what it felt like. I wanted to know what it felt like to be a judge. And she said, what did it feel like? And he said, it felt good. So anyway, I just thought that was so cute. And he was very articulate. And anyway, I was captivated by his news and by the story he told. There's so much more that he told. But he said that after he did his thing, he put the robe on, he looked in all the cupboards, he sat in everybody's chair. And he said as soon as he was finished goofing around, the sergeant came in, opened the door, and he said, everything okay in here? And William said, oh, yes, Sarge, everything's fine. So anyway, I just thought that was so cute. And he does go on to talk about after these men were found guilty, honey, it's okay, that they wanted to give them, they wanted to get them hung as fast as possible. And so he talks about the hangman, when the hangman came and how that all worked, and building the gallows. And anyway, it was very, very interesting. And I didn't know it, but 3 of the 22 men were totally let go. They were, I forget what it's called, but they were not found guilty of anything. And so at the end of the trial, they just walked out and went home. Go figure. Several of them got like 10 years, and Speer got 20 years, and then many of them were hung. So there. Anyway, it's if you're interested in this, listen to William Glenny, Gleny. Listen to his testimony because it is quite interesting. All right, I'm done. I'm done talking, which is probably a good thing since I'm losing my voice. All right, you guys. P.S. I love you. Mwah. Until our next conversation. Bye. You look so sleepy. Your eyes are going to close. You're going to fall asleep sitting there. Is it time for night-night? Did you take your nap today? Huh? Did you take your nap today?
What's this big thing?
I don't think you did.
This big thing you're gonna do for time?
Your eyes are so sleepy. I love you.
You wanna show how nice
I love you.
you got a dance on
You're my sweet girl. Hi.